Last week I was lucky enough to get my hands on the brand new Titleist TS4 and TS1 driver. Whilst I thought the TS4 would be great for my game, the TS1 not so much. Enter one guy. Let's do it. Don't leave me high and dry.
Let's do it now.
Hi everyone, James Robinson here. If you're new to the channel and this is your very first time watching my content, first of all, welcome to the channel. And second of all, please don't forget to hit that subscribe button before you leave. On this channel, I bring you guys daily golf related content that helps you raise your game, lower your handicap, and hopefully just gets you enjoying golf that tiny bit more. In today's video, we are down at the Titleist National Fitting Centre at Cambridge St Ives, and my old man is getting fit for a brand new Titleist TS1 driver. So guys, we've just got down here to the Titleist National Fitting Centre at Cambridge St Ives. My dad is out there already warming up. He can never hit too many golf shots apparently. If you're not aware of my dad, he was on a video with me not too long ago called Playing Golf After a Heart Attack. Now when I tested the TS1 product last week, there was one person that sprung to my mind. All he ever goes on about is getting more distance off the tee. So with the light product and the light shaft and the more distance, this could be pretty interesting. He's currently using a Ping G20 driver, which I think might be older than me, but I'm not too sure. I'll have to ask him. Let's get out there and let's see if we can gain a little bit more distance for him. Guys, just before we get into the video, make sure you hit those comments below. Is a fitting for a driver something you've done? Have you been to a national fitting centre for Titleist or for any other brand? And is it something you'd do in the future? Let's get out there.
You've been the Masters as well, did you know?
No, I've heard many stories, yeah.
Cheers.
Good shot.
Nice. 150.
And sort of height-wise, you like the trajectory of it?
Well, it's only 9.5 degrees, but when I tried going higher, the ball seemed to balloon. I don't know. So I just want to hit it further.
Yeah. Challenge accepted.
They're about as good as I get.
You always hit it well on camera. You beat me when we played.
So at one end we've got the 4, which is for the quick swing speeds, and we're trying to kill spin. That last one that you hit there span at 2082, which is on the low side anyway. So if we're going to look to go into a TS4 type product, that's really not going to do us any benefits. No. And I know, speaking to James before we came down today, the TS1 is probably going to be the best option for you because of its design. It's just whether I wouldn't mind hitting the 2 first and then going into the 1 and do the difference between those as well. If you're quite happy to hit that one. So previously, before the introduction of TS1 and TS4, looking at the performance of what your current driver's doing, TS2 probably would have been the one that we looked to fit you into. Tiny little bit more loft in here at 10.5 degrees, and this was our lightest shaft at 50 grams in the Kuro Kegi before the new options became available. So we'll test this one, see how it goes, and then we'll put the one against it in a little while.
Lovely, thank you. Off that one a bit.
Feel or look or sound any different to you?
Actually, it feels good.
Nice sort of impact off the faces.
Yeah.
Using nice strike.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's my natural shot. So what's the difference on the TS1?
What we've done with one is for golfers when we start looking at speed, and the first thing you said when you came in was you wouldn't mind hitting it a little bit further.
Yeah.
Now, to suggest that you should go to the gym, lift some weights, bulk up a little bit, hit more harder, is not really fair when we can use technology to do that. So this head is actually lighter than it would just hit. The shaft is another 10 grams lighter again, and the grip's another 20 grams lighter again, so there's a complete weight saving in all of here. And what it's hopefully going to do is allow you to swing it a little bit quicker. It is going to want to go a little bit higher, which is why I asked you about the ball flight characteristics as well. But if we can get that distance up, which is what you're asking.
If it's high and going further, yeah.
So the tagline of it is effortless distance. So we don't want you to do anything different.
Yeah.
What you've been doing, you just give it a swing and we'll see how it performs.
I mean, definitely went higher, didn't it?
Doesn't mind technology, you're talking to a guy who chopped down some one-length irons.
It feels like it's going further. Is it going further or not?
We'll have a look in a second. Yeah. The speed of the first one was up. Yeah, that was quite a long one. Been in and around here, and that one all of a sudden has jumped. So your average carry was around 154, 5658. That one was 178, so that was 21 further. I did change the settings of the hosel, so some of the shots that you've got with that bit of shape on it, I've put it to minimalise, but we don't want it to go straight left.
No. That was a good one, yeah.
The one that's highlighted was down at 2.5 as opposed to the other ones that were too high, 3.5. In the TS1, where we've got the weight saving and we're getting that higher peak height, the carry on the good ones is considerably further.
Yeah.
So if you're going to be playing a lot in Desert Springs where you haven't got the rollout,
Yeah.
another 15 yards on some of the good ones is going to give you obviously a much shorter second shot. Whereas at the other course, if it's firmer and you do get the rollout, we could maybe try and get something in between what you're currently using and where we were with the TS1 to improve carry to a certain extent, but have that element of rollout on the end as well.
Yeah.
Good.
In fact, I've got to say that one felt about as good as it gets.
Does it feel like you get a different sensation between the two when you hit it? Because we've hit the same shaft in both models. Is there
This feels as if it's a bit more penetrating than the TS1.
It is in regards to flight. And as it comes off the face, is it more
feels like
more solid strike?
Yeah. For me, the lowest out of the beam was 10 handicap, so I've never felt good enough to hit a Titleist.
Yeah, which is crazy because you're absolutely right. That's the perception we've built in so many people.
And that's why I thought it would be interesting. I've never felt like I've been able to strike the ball well. And obviously they've had loads of Titleist drivers between them out, taking them and hit them.
Potential that one?
Yeah.
Good shot. Ball speed at 117 is crazy. We're averaged, so the speed that the ball's coming off the club, if we look at everyone that we've hit, your own one's at the top at 110, so 110, 110, 111, we've got some that have been better than others, that last one was 117.
So although the club head speed was down, the ball speed...
Yeah, club head speed was the same, or similar.
Got another like
but
10...
at 7 miles an hour, that carry's going to go through the roof.
No.
I'm quite happy.
This one feels the best.
Yes.
When I get a good swing on it. But
If you want me to just explain a little bit about sort of what happened, where we started and what we've gone through, and show you a couple of figures on there. So the one right at the very top in the blue was your own driver.
Yeah.
And we identified how fast you were swinging it, how quick the ball was coming off the face, what the peak height was, the spin rate, the carry, the total distance, a lot of data. And one of the things that, well, the first thing that you said was you wouldn't mind some more distance.
Yeah.
And one way that we can do that with a new product available, particularly with TS1, is to take a lot of weight out of the club.
Yeah.
And what we did initially was we went quite extreme. So we put the very lightest shaft in there, we put the most amount of loft on it, and we hit it nice, and you could see physically with the ice that it was higher in the air. In fact, it was 20 feet higher peak height, but what we also identified was it actually spun a little bit too much, and the land angle was quite steep, so it was coming in more like an iron than a driver, so we weren't getting a great amount of rollout, even though the carry was a little bit higher. So the one that we've actually ended up here isn't actually the lightest offering, it's 5 grams heavier. So rather than go for the speeder in that 40 grams, this is the Fubuki at 45. And we actually knocked the loft down. If you have a look at what's on the head there, we're back at 9.5.
Yeah.
Just to control the spin a little bit.
Yeah.
And the last couple that we hit, so if we go back to where we were at the start, at the club speed at 75.5 miles an hour, with this option here, we're close to 77.5 miles an hour. So we've increased your club head speed by 5 miles an hour fast off the face. We've still kept the height in there, so the peak height's jumped from 50 feet to 73 feet, so we've got nice higher flight, but because we've got the spin under control with the loft in there, we've gone from a 158 carry up to a 171.6.
It's great.
Yeah, quite a big improvement.
Yeah.
And it feels good to swing.
Is that the total distance?
That's the total distance up there, close to 190. You actually had one at 199. The goal is, can we hit the magical 200 before we finish?
Yeah, let's go on some Weetabix. But actually, for bad shots, for me.
Simple play.
That's right.
Simple play. Because as bad as it gets.
I always think that first hole at the spring.
Yeah.
We could, I'm not going to, but we could adjust the settings a little bit more to stop that one with a bit of shape.
Yeah.
But my fear for doing that is it could, the one that
Bring
you
the
get,
pull.
Yeah, go straight left.
If you say you hit as many pulls as you do the ones out to the right, you probably do that.
Yeah.
But the grip that we've got on here is now the 360 light. This is actually 20 grams lighter than the prior generation.
Right.
Safer weight. So
So I need to stay with that, don't I? Yeah.
And we can just put a couple of layers underneath, just to thicken it out a little bit.
So guys, just finished with the fit. I'm going to send you over to James, who's done the fit for us. James Robinson, well not James Robinson, but James Robinson. That's right, isn't it? Yeah. James, just talk us through the driver and what we've kind of come with, really, what we've finished with.
Yeah, so we started off with Chris hitting his current one, and we asked him what he would like his new driver to do, and the first thing he mentioned was distance. So we got him to hit his current one and identified what that was doing. We had a look at his ball speed and his peak height and his spin rates, and then we tried a few of our models from the current TS range. And TS2 was the first one that we hit, and it actually performed really, really well. And then we went extreme in the TS1. So Chris's ball speed's around the 110, 115 mile an hour mark, which is exactly who this club's designed for. And we went in the maximum loft and the lightest shaft, and I tried to get it airborne and going down there as far as possible. And it did exactly like it's supposed to. It was really high. It did actually spin a little bit too much. So we tried a variety of putting some of the lighter shafts in the TS2, and we tried some lower lofts in the TS1 to keep the conditions the same, but just to reduce spin a little bit. And we actually ended up with a TS1 in a 9.5 with a new Fubuki 45-degree regular flex shaft.
Awesome. And you know, one of the great things, which obviously I've just been stood here, I've not really done a lot today, but I really enjoyed when you're asking about the different golf courses that he plays at. So obviously playing out in Spain, some people are luckier than others, aren't they? As opposed to playing at home in England, a lot of the time you almost need a different idea. So I think really good that you're kind of obviously saying, right, do you want total distance, do you want carry distance? Or
yep, exactly that. And it's not just about total distance. We need to get it on the fairway. We want it to go through the window. We will look at land angle, we'll look at spin rates, we'll look at how it performs when it hits the ground as well. So yeah, there's a lot to go through. So most important message, get custom fitted.
Absolutely, yeah. So I always think after a fitting, you have to speak to the main man of the fitting. So, what do you think?
Well, when I came, the intention was to try to get more carry, and I've got an extra 10 yards, so exactly what I wanted.
Very good.
Thank you, Titleist.
Yeah. So guys, that brings this video to a finish. As you could see there, pretty good fitting for my dad for a new Titleist driver. Thank you to the guys at Titleist for getting us down here. Thank you for looking at the product with him. I think looking at it, he may well be taking the old trusted G20 out of the bag and putting in the TS1 that he got fitted for. Gaining, as you could see from the data, 10 yards of carry distance, and then the total distance was a little bit more as well. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed that, make sure you do hit that subscribe button below. Don't leave without liking the video if you have enjoyed it. And apart from that, I'll see you tomorrow.